Hello once again, witchy people. You'll have to excuse the get up. I am not play acting. I am not trying to impersonate Pete Burns. I've just got an eye infection and this is the... this is why. Anyway, so I have just been watching BeanbagHagWag, the lovely, lovely Trish, and she did the Witchy Tag 2022 from Ravenflower, which is 22 questions for 2022. And you all know how I love a hashtag, so I thought I'd do it too. So I have the questions printed out. I haven't seen all of Trish's. I haven't seen Ravenflower's at all, though I will try to link them both below with all 22 questions. And they do ask, you know, who you're going to tag. The last question is who you're going to tag, and this is an open tag for me. Same as Trish. I want everyone to do it because I'm nosy, as you know. So let's start with the Witchy Tag 2022. I'm almost as blind as a bat. So question 1. I can't see a thing. The thing is, this is my bad eye. This is when it comes to sort of wearing glasses. This is my worst eye. Okay, New Year's resolutions. Do you believe in them? It's not so much as do I believe in them. It's do I make them? I tend not to. Are they a good idea for some people? Yes. For me, no. I'd rather have a resolution that I made and stuck to at any time of year. It doesn't have to be specifically for New Year's. Question 2, why or why not? Now, if that's referring to the New Year's question, the New Year's resolution, once again, because I don't feel the necessity to have a specific day put by to make a resolution. If the question is why or why not, it depends on the situation. Usually it's why not? You know, it's always good to ask why with anything, but why not? Go ahead and do things. You know, always regret what you do rather than regret what you don't do. Okay, so question 3 is, what is your favourite colour, I think? Oh, crikey, it's terrible. Oh, what is your favourite colour or colours? Okay, so I don't have a favourite colour. Black and white. I obviously love black especially. I love purple, green, red, deep dark reds, deep forest greens. There are some colours I don't wear or I don't particularly like or I don't particularly decorate, and those are pink and navy blue. Simply because I was a teenager in the 80s, and so pink was all the rage then. I haven't worn pink since then. So do I have any favourite colours? No, not really. I just think that I like natural colours, nature inspired colours. So I love sort of like the oranges and browns of autumn leaves, and the purples and greys and bruised sort of colours of a sunset, that sort of thing, and the deep dark reds. So yeah, I think that's probably as close as you're going to get for a favourite colour for me. To wear, it's usually black, but black isn't a colour, so... Okay. Question 4. Does your favourite colour hold magical or emotional meaning for you? I think it used to. I think when I was younger, my favourite colour was probably purple. And it seemed to me a very magical colour back then. Every time I would see the colour purple somewhere, it kind of meant something to me. So in that respect, yeah, but not so much now. Like I said, all colours have certain magical meanings and spiritual meanings and mean something. Even if it is pink. Okay, number 5. Do you use substances for divination or meditation? Flying oils, herbs or alcohol? No. Okay, so I learnt this lesson quite early on, that especially if you're talking to the dead or trying to commune with the dead, And if you're doing oracle cards, that sort of thing, to use alcohol can very much lower your guard, and you get such an influx of everything. The emotion can be overwhelming and it can be quite damaging. So no, I don't. The closest thing you'll get to me sort of like using substances is putting on a bit of incense or a pretty smelling candle. It's not that I don't drink. I do rarely. I don't. The flying ointments I have are more meditative than to bring on a high. So I just don't have those sort of things. And I think sometimes it's, like I said, especially with divination, it's better to have a clear head than a fuzzy head for some reason. But then again, I'm saying that what's fine for other people may not be fine for me. Question 6, why or why not? Well, there you go. That's asked and answered. Number 7, what is your favourite part of your practice? I think it is I'm a bit airy-fairy here, and some of it is the people that I've met through it. No. Well, it is. I think the favourite part of my practice is finding the magic in everyday things, because that is part of being a witch. It's part of the practice that I have. It's finding magic in everything. Whether that be, like I said, the colours in a sunset, or noticing a sign where other people may not notice the sign for some, like, a white feather or a stone with a hole in it, or a face in a tree, in the tree bark, that sort of thing. So yes, it's finding the magic in everything, in everyday things. Okay, what is the least favourite part of your practice? Now there is a question. What's my least favourite part? Sometimes it's the reaction from others. And people's misinterpretation of what being a witch is. Also, my least favourite part is tarot, because I can't do it. There is also that kind of faction, if you like, within the witchcraft community, that you get some real die-hard fundamentalists, and they believe that things have to be done a certain way or certain, and there is sometimes that discord or disagreement between different paths that is sometimes my least favourite bit of my practice, because mine is so different from everyone else. I don't have set rules and ideas about how to practice, so I'm quite often at odds with other people, not through my own choices, but just because I don't just practice the way they do. I don't. Right, so next question. How do you feel your practice has grown over time? Oh, heavens. I don't know. I think definitely it has grown in the way that you always have to be open to learn new things. How has it grown? I think maybe through confidence. Definitely through confidence and reaching out to other people, and sort of like asking them questions, things like that, has helped my practice to grow emotionally. And I think that's it. Emotionally, my practice is growing best. But as far as development, although I have taken on new things within my practice, I think you always have to. You always have to learn and change and grow. the development of the basis of my practice hasn't changed really much at all. I don't know if that makes sense. It kind of does to me. Okay, question 10. Is there a show or movie that inspires you? No. I can't say there is. I don't think there is. Not in a sort of like witchy sort of way. No, I can't think of any show that really inspires me, or a movie. I don't actually watch a lot of television or films, so no. Do I have a familiar? Now, this is an odd question because people view familiars differently. Is a familiar a pet that you have? Is it a spirit animal? For me, it's more of a spirit animal sort of thing, and I do have an animal that is in spirit. So it was a pet of mine that has passed on, that I kind of used to help me in some ways. Sometimes, yeah, it's the only way I can explain it. It helps bring me closer to sometimes the realm that I'm trying to reach and converse with. That's why I have a familiar. But she is not a physical animal. Although I do have pets that might be considered familiars, I don't see them that way. Okay. Number 12. Would you recommend any YouTube channels? Yes. Just look at my my sort of like list of people that I like and videos that I like. There are too many to even mention. If I subscribe, then I like you. That's probably it. And even if I don't subscribe, I may like you. Yeah, there's absolutely too many. If we're talking about pagan witchy channels, there's loads. If we're talking about other types of channels, there are quite a few. I watch anything on sort of like Jack the Ripper, murders, mysteries, cults. So yeah, I recommend all of them. Name something you must do daily for your mental or emotional well-being or for your practice. At the moment, I will admit that I have not done anything for my mental or emotional well-being. I've kind of let it go slightly. If I want to do something, really the only thing I have to do is get myself up, ready and get out of the house. So it's not something that I do, but it's something that I should do. And that is just, it is for my practice as well, because I need to be out there. I need to be I am out there, totally. I need to be outside to feel nature around me, to feel energy and vibrations and see people, not necessarily to converse with them, just look around and see people and see things and see animals. And yeah, so these are things I should do for my emotional and mental well-being, but I don't. It's something that I have really let go recently. It's been in the past few months, and I know a lot of us are feeling that way because of the pandemic and being locked down and not being able to get close to people. Yeah, I think that's really it. So there aren't any things that I do, but there are things that I should do, which I really have to destroy. There's a cat. Cats are arguing with each other outside. So yeah, there are things that I should do, but I don't at the moment. So question 14, what is something that started as an obstacle but you can now use that you now see as a blessing? So that would be being able to hear or see the dead. It was a curse. As a very, very young child, seeing things that other people couldn't see or hearing things, I saw as a real disadvantage. It was something that I grew up wanting to hide, trying to hide, and, you know, until... But I think it's because other people make you feel that way. As a very young child, it was all okay, you know, sort of big deal. So I saw, you know, all sorts of people and things, and it was interesting. And then you get to the point where you are made to feel that you're not normal, and being not normal is wrong. Whereas, in all honesty, I think being not normal is absolutely brilliant. Weirdness is good. Yeah, so, but now I see that as a definite blessing. It is something that I have kind of lost control of lately, because I spent a long time blocking things out, and if you block it out enough, you'll lose it. So yeah, it definitely, it started off as something that I didn't even think about whether it was a curse or a blessing. It became a curse because of how other people perceived me to be, and now I see it as a blessing because it really is a gift. Even if you have to work at that gift, it is a gift, and therefore a blessing. Okay. Question 15. Which do you prefer, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok? YouTube. Because I can't... I think I have a TikTok account, but I don't use it. I have an Instagram account. I have no idea how to use it. Facebook, I find to be quite mundane in a bad way. It's an awful lot of people in many ways posting things like, you know, oh, I'm having a bad day, but not saying why. On the other hand, Facebook is really, really good for community. And it's something that I really should start again. You know, sort of like witchy and pagan groups and things like that. So it's a really good thing. It's a really good platform for groups and to get involved with people of your community, people of your tribe. But yes, obviously YouTube, if I'm not making videos, I am always watching them. Or, you know, I mean, I even go to sleep listening to radio plays and things like that on YouTube. So yeah, out of all of them, YouTube, but only because I can't use Instagram because I'm old. What do you feel, this is question 16, what do you feel is missing from our witchy community? I think sometimes it could be a sense of purpose. But then purpose sometimes makes people very extreme and fundamental and too focused on one thing. I think maybe what's missing from our community is... Those cats are still going. We seem to have a them and us kind of attitude between pagans and non-pagans. And then within the pagan community, we have a them and us. So it's not necessarily what's missing, it's these walls that we have built up. And what's missing is a ruddy good, you know, wrecking ball to take down the walls. Yeah, I think so. I think it would be nice to have a lot more help from each other. It's like, for instance, I mean, I can make YouTube videos, but I have no idea how to like do a joint video or anything like that. And I think that kind of help is missing. There's very much a distinct line, not just between the older generation and the younger generation, but people who have been witches longer and people who have been witches less time. And also, yeah, just people who have got a lot of subscribers and people who haven't. It's almost like some people with a lot of subscribers are sort of like, well, I don't need to interact with people who have fewer subscribers because, you know, they're beneath me. There is that, and it sounds horrible to say, and I've noticed it only in one or two YouTubers, and not necessarily just in the pagan or witchy community. So yeah, there we go. Okay. Question 17. How much space do you use for supplies and spell work? Too much. That I don't need. All I need for supplies and spell work is me. I don't need anything else. But I have, you can't see it, but this whole thing here, it's an old picnic basket, is full of candles, just candles. And that's my overflow supply. I have a whole box full of candles. Apart from that, I have incense coming out of my ear holes. I have a herb collection, dried herb collection, that is really amazing. And I don't actually need any of it. I just need me. So yeah, I have rooms and rooms taken up. I have space in the attic that is taking up boxes and boxes and boxes of supplies. I have, I'll admit, too much, but I like it all because that's what we do. We collect things. Okay, question 18. How many altars do you have in your home? That is a really weird question for me because I don't actually have what you might consider an altar. My altar box is being used to store things in, and my cats use it to sleep on. I have shelves in my house that are set up as altars. I have spaces just with bits and pieces in. Windowsills that have plants on which I consider altars. So I have a lot. But on the flip side, I also have none that you might consider to be altars. You know, I have space in the garden that I grow things in and have stones placed in. You know, it's just, I have been out into the forest and found a tree stump and put things on a tree stump, and you consider that an altar maybe. So yes, none and many. The answer to that is, yeah, none and many. What is your favourite Sabbat is question 19. I am a bit of a lazy witch. I don't necessarily follow all Sabbats and Esbats. I don't necessarily, you know, do things at certain times of when I'm supposed to, when it's a full moon or a new moon or, you know, a dark moon and such things. I don't. And because that, I mean, I do love Yule because I love the whole, it's the only time I allow glitz and twinkle into my life, to be honest. It's the only time it's acceptable to have sparkly things. I'm not a sparkly person. I do absolutely love anything to do with autumn. So, you know, but I also love springtime. I think a lot of people are going to say it's going to be Samhain, because we do have that. It's kind of like our Sabbat, you know, it's our time for celebration. It's accepted that, you know, witches all come out on Halloween. But I think Yule, the winter solstice, it's got to be Yule, the winter solstice. I think that is my favourite, possibly. Simply because it's a time when it has been taken on by other cultures and other religions and named different things and used in different ways. But it's certainly a time when community comes together, family comes together. And I think that's why it's my favourite. Because it is a universal kind of celebration. It's not just pagan. There's a whole load of celebrations that go around at that same time that mean an awful lot to an awful lot of communities. So yeah, I'm going to go for winter solstice. Is my favourite, I think. It may change if you ask me again. So, do I prefer tarot, runes, oracle deck, or pendulum? Oracle deck and pendulum. Because I can't use tarot. I've tried. I can't. I don't have the brain capacity to remember things and put them together. I don't know why. It just doesn't work with me. So, yeah, I love oracle cards, certain oracle cards. I do collect tarot cards because I love them so much. But yeah, oracle cards definitely, and the pendulum. If it comes to, they're not necessarily my favourite types of scrying. I like flame scrying, dark mirror scrying, liquid scrying, storm, nature scrying. You know, there are so many different ways. So when it comes to, like I said, forms of scrying and divination, out of those mentioned, it would have to probably pendulum, because it's something that is very simple, very quick, very easy, and very teachable and very learnable. So yeah, that would be that, I think. Question 21. Are you out of the broom closet? I am. I have been for a while. I've been in and out the broom closet more times than the broom. I am out of the broom closet. I'm because I always wear a pentagram or a pentacle somewhere on my body so that people know. I quite happily tell people if they ask, but I don't announce it, if you like. Although I'm very proud of who I am and what I am, it's not something that I really shout from the rooftops. But I am out of the broom closet, and I think it's through being in the broom closet and out of the closet and out of the broom closet for many different reasons. It's definitely easier being out of the broom closet eventually. Okay, and the last question, who are you going to tag in this video? And as I said before, question 22, I'd like everyone to feel like they've been tagged. And, you know, take part, because it does make us more of a community, and it does make us help understand each other. And it helps with those of us that are very nosy and like to find out things about people. So there we go. Those are the Ravenflower's Witchy Tag 2022 22 questions. And I hope you all join in and really give this a go, because I love a hashtag and I think it's great fun to answer loads of questions. And Ravenflower has a habit, I think, of asking some really quite simple questions, and then some questions that when you really think about them, they are really deep. And you know, you do have to think, and you do have to really reach down far and wonder why you feel certain things, why you have certain things, and you know, it's always good. That's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, witchy people. I'll be back very soon. Bye for now.